Litecoin and Bitcoin update. What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here with your daily update. Sorry about the lighting and the camera view and all that good stuff. I'm out of town. I'm doing this from the hotel, so I didn't want to miss out on giving you guys a video today. First, we're going to take a look at Litecoin and take a look at our targets. Then we're going to do the same with Bitcoin. And then after that, towards the end of the video, if you guys stick around, I'm going to show you my gold to Bitcoin comparison and why I think the bottom could possibly be in. Stick around, ought to be interesting.
1, 2, 3, jump!
Alright guys, as always, I want to start out by saying that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or any investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market can be extremely volatile and risky. With that being said, I want to give a big shout out to everybody for subscribing and supporting the channel. We hit over 600 subscribers yesterday. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I couldn't do it without you guys. And if you haven't already or you're new here, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right hand side of the screen. Tick the little notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos so you don't miss out on anything. And if you like the content, please give it a giant thumbs up, like it, comment down below. I like reading your guys' comments and knowing what you guys think of the market. Also, if you could share it, if you belong to any groups, or share it on your Twitter or whatever, I'd appreciate it. Get it out there and help me grow the channel. All right, let's get into the charts. Looking at the daily Litecoin, as you can see, looking at this channel I've had drawn here, and you can see the targets I've had. And for those of you that haven't been around to see how I've gotten the targets, excuse me, I'm going to show you real quick. There's more to it, obviously, but I am showing you guys a quick method to get these targets. And on this one, we measure this flagpole here of the bull flag and bring it up to where we broke out of the bull flag, and that's what got me to the $56 target, which we had hit over here, obviously. And then the next target, how I've gotten that one, the $60 range, was, you look here, I was looking at this as an Adam and an Eve, and if we take a look at that from the neckline, measure the Adam, and then we bring this over back to the neckline where we broke out, and that gets me to the $60 range, which we almost hit yesterday. But I do still believe there's more room for more upward momentum. So I'm going to take a look at the next target, the 64, show you how I got that. And what we do here is measure the channel, and then we drag that up to where we broke out, and that gets me to the $64 range. There is also another target I do want to look at in here in a little bit, but also we have to look at if we were to break down past this top of the channel again, which is possible that we come down here, and we're looking at the 200 EMA. And if we do come down here, I'm looking to get a bounce off the $52 area. Again, guys, that's if we come down. I do believe we're probably going to go up first, and I'll show you why here in a minute. But if we do break down, then we're looking down towards the $37 range. Although we do have support at the $41 range right here, my support resistance line. So just to do a measured move, if we were to break out of the bottom of this channel, that's what brings me to this target here of the $23 range, which would be a double bottom. Obviously, our bottom was right here around the $22.15 range. So that is a possibility we have to keep in mind. You have to be ready for both turns of the market. So, but we have broken above this 200 EMA pretty good and pretty strong on the daily. So I do believe that if we do come back down and test it for support, I do believe that it'll hold as support for now. So now we're going to go into the RSI and take a look at that. In the daily, you can see I have this rising wedge drawn, and we still have more room to come back up. We've been getting support off of this bottom bottom trend line of the rising wedge. So we broke through a little bit here, which could be like considered a bull or a bear trap, and pop back up in, and I do believe we be coming back up to test it again, test the top again. So let me go into the 4-hour RSI and show you what I'm looking at there. All right, I know this looks weird, but I had this symmetrical triangle drawn here, which was pretty good. It had significance, obviously. We broke through the bottom here, come back up, tested it for resistance, got resisted or rejected, back up, tested it, broke through, back down again, and now we're on top. We could come back down to test the top of this again before getting another bounce. And that's, like I said, I do see more upward before we have our correction. So now we're going to take a look at what the higher target could possibly be. Now, if we look here, this could be a bull, either a bull pennant or a bull flag forming. But either way, we would use the same top line, whether it be a flag or a pole. Or I'm sorry, a flag or a pennant, which a pennant would be a line this way, the flag would continue down this way. So what we do here, I'm going to put another possible higher target that could be coming we need to watch out for. And by measuring this as the flagpole, and then as to where we would break out, you know, there's no exact spot, but I do see us maybe coming back down here to the $54 range, getting another bounce up, and maybe not even that far. We may, you know, break out here, but I'm going to go off of this support resistance line at the 5610 and go up, and that's going to give me another target of upward. So let's put this in here, and hard to get these things straight sometimes. There we go. And then we'll put a price label on it, and let's go right here, be around the $68 to $69 range. And then if we move over and see if that lines up with any old support or resistance, and it does right here, old resistance. So that's a valid target for now. Let me stretch it out a little bit. And guys, if you watch my videos, you know that it doesn't mean we go straight up. Obviously, we've got some resistance areas on the way up, you know, up and down movement. But this is a possible target. But for right now, obviously, we're looking at the next target around 60. And then after that, 64.06. And we have to evaluate as it comes. And keep in mind, guys, that we've got to have this top of the channel hold as support before moving up to the higher targets. And if that does break, then we start looking at the lower targets. But as of now, I'm still bullish here for the upward momentum. And now I'm going to, let me get rid of this here. I know my charts are a little messy, guys, but I like to keep my targets and that on there. That way I can explain to everybody, and everybody, you know, knows what's going on here. So now we're going to go into Bitcoin. And a reminder, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, tick the little notification bell, get you notified when I post new videos. Give it a giant thumbs up if you like the video. Leave your comments, let me know what you think. And I have moved this top of this falling wedge now. I had it drawn off of this peak across to where we broke down, but I've moved it now up. I think it is more significant right here. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We're going to take a look at the daily and kind of show you what we could be looking at. This is the bottom trend line that I believe is going to hold for us, considering this is the bottom right here and we have reached the bottom. Also, I do have a target down here from if we break down up here. I do want to, this would be considered the double bottom, the 3250 range. You know, obviously we come down to the 31 3130 range to, you know, do a double bottom also. But as of right now, guys, this is what I'm looking at. And if you look at the EMAs here, they're definitely holding as support. We broke down below them, popped back up in, and now they're holding as support. So I do want to do a measured move down in case we break down from here, and we would measure the flagpole here and put it to where we would break out, and that's where I get this 3250 range right here, guys, just so you know. Also, I'm going to look at, we're going to go into the RSI here, and as you can see, I had this channel drawn. Also, I have this line drawn here, which we could come up, test it for resistance, and if we break through, then obviously continue on up in the channel with our next higher move. But we do have to watch that if we break down from here, you know, then we have obviously the more bearish move coming. But as of right now, it looks like I believe we're going to have another push up, going to the 4 hour. In the RSI, same thing. Obviously, you can see down here we were way oversold. Came back up, hit the top of this. You could see I had a rising wedge drawn here that we dropped out of, and dropped out of the channel here, popped back in, and I believe we'll be coming back up. And there's a good possibility we bounce up out of this and go have another run up. Now, I don't believe that we'll hit the top of this again. It's pretty high. It's possible, but I do believe that we come up and break out of this at least a little bit before coming back down. And if you look at this also in the RSI, this looks like a bull flag forming here. I don't know why my chart does that all the time. Sorry, guys. But yeah, looks like a bull flag forming here, as you can see, and looks like we might come back down, test the bottom of it, and then our move up. So that's what I'm looking at now, guys. Keep in mind there's no guarantee, you know, this could drop down from here from getting resistance twice, but I do believe we'll come up and test it again before either breaking through or breaking down. So now let's look at the targets on Bitcoin here and show you how I've gotten these targets. First, we'll start out with the lower targets here, and then we'll move into the bigger targets. So apologize if this is laggy. This hotel doesn't have the best Wi-Fi apparently. So yeah, what we're looking at here, as you can see, these targets that I've had here, the first one, we would do a measured move off of this flagpole here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Off of this flagpole here, and then we, you know, move it up to where we broke out. And that gets me the 43.68 range. And as you can see, we've already hit over here my target of 41.79, which that is still an upward target. Now, I have this target of 40 or 4,000 here, and I'm going to show you how I got that one, guys. But we have to remember we have a strong support resistance line here at the 39.70, and I'm going to show you how I got that one. If we measure from the breakout of this flagpole here, and I was looking at this before as this was the flag right here, and we would do the measured move off of that flag, and that's what brings me up to the $4,000 range, guys. But obviously we'll be getting resistance at the 39.70 first, and then we have to see from there. If we do pop through there, you know, then there could be much more upward momentum. So now I'm looking at this as a possible bull flag going this way, coming up here. So we could do the same thing, and I'm going to put another target in there, guys. If this breaks out off of the top of this flag here, that brings us right in line with this falling wedge, and I'm going to put this target in here so we can keep an eye on that, guys, over the next few days. And it may not even take that long, who knows, because it's so hard to judge time on the charts. Targets are one thing, the time to get there is a whole nother thing. So but that would be around the 4,076 range. Now this is going to be a huge thing for Bitcoin, because if we can break up through this, then we're looking at the higher targets, and I will show you guys how I've came up with the higher targets also. And we'll start out by looking just like in Litecoin. This 4368 here is our peak up here, and obviously old support became new resistance. That's why I have this target here at the 43. If we do break above this and out, guys. Now, like I said, we're going to look at the higher time frames, or not the higher time frames, higher targets. Sorry, guys. So the way I got this one is looking at this just like in Litecoin as an atom and an Eve, and this could also end up being a cup and handle here, guys, and then a breakout. And we'll make a target for that too. I know the chart's getting messy, but these targets are longer term targets, guys. There's, you know, and that's only if we break out of this wedge here. So taking a look at right here would be the neckline of a Adam and Eve, if that's what this is here, at the 4180 range. So we're going to do a measured move off of that right here, all the way down to the bottom of the atom. And that brings us to this target up here at 5,000. Now, how I got the higher target, let's move up. The higher target was by measuring, excuse me, by measuring this symmetrical triangle here, with the top being the solid line, the bottom being the dotted line. Right here, as you can see, we broke out and tested the top for support, got support, and moving back up. So we would take that to where we initially broke out, and that is what gives me the $5,000 range also. So yeah, that's the $5,000 range, obviously. Now on the Adam and Eve, as I said before, I think we did a measured move on the Adam and Eve here, but I'm gonna look at that again, and that would bring us up to, obviously this would be the neckline here at the 4180, but that would bring us up to the 5250 range. So anyways, those are my targets for now, guys. And that's as long as we hold up here and don't break down past the top of the symmetrical triangle. And this is the long-term trend line that I do believe will hold, making this the bottom. So again, this is only my opinion and my view on the market. I'm not a financial advisor, guys. So now I'm going to take a look at the Bitcoin to gold comparison that we've been looking at. As you can see, this is Bitcoin, and I've drawn this dotted line from the peak to where we broke down across. And I've drawn this solid line from the bottom peak, and I've done the same over here in gold. Obviously, guys, gold, this is a way longer time frame. You know, we're looking at what, 30 years, a little over 30 years. But the resemblance is amazing, and you know, it's human emotion, and human emotion doesn't change, and markets are cyclical just like human emotion, and this is really big resemblance to Bitcoin. So, and as you can see, zoom in a little bit, as you can see, we've, you know, tested this bottom line as support, and then once we broke through this, continued on up. Now if we look at Bitcoin, you know, we tested for support, same thing. But obviously, first of all, let's look at what happened here in Bitcoin, I'm sorry, gold. After that breakthrough, obviously we had a giant parabolic move, and that's real possible right now in Bitcoin. If this bottom trend line holds, you know, obviously it may not be as fast of a movement up. We have to break this 200 EMA first, but we do have to watch here too, guys. I have another long-term trend line drawn here, and if we break through this $3,450, $3,500 range. Then our next support after that's going to be around the $2,250. But like I said, guys, I do believe the bottom is in. Now I'm going to take a look at, we're going to go into the RSI and look at the monthly RSI on Bitcoin. And let's go in here. You can see I have these two arches drawn. And what I've done here, this was the 2014-15 bull run. Then as you can see, I put these arrows at each low, and there was 4 lows, right? 4 lows over here in our 2018 bear market, 4 lows in this bear market. And then obviously after this low, we came back down, but not totally all the way back down. So if this is correct, you know, around June, we should start getting some momentum up. And then obviously, you know, it could be, according to this, if we stay in this line, you know, our next high could be over in the July of 22, somewhere in there. But I do see us starting to move up from here, guys. We may have one more tick down, you know, obviously, like we did over here. But that's why I do believe that the lows are in. They were in here on the 4th turn down, and I believe they're in over here on the 4th turn down. So anyway, that's my gold to Bitcoin comparison. Another reminder, if you haven't already, please hit the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. That'll get you subscribed. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Please like and share and leave your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think of the video. I appreciate it. Hope everyone has a good day.